There's trouble brewing inside Keir Starmer's Labour Party, and it's not coming from the opposition benches. Behind the closed doors of Parliament, a rebellion is gaining momentum. Nearly 100 of Starmer's own MPs are quietly plotting a dramatic challenge, one that could force the Labour leader into a public climb down over a policy that's already sparking outrage across the country. It's a standoff that pits fiscal discipline against social justice. And for Starmer, the stakes couldn't be higher. Let's break it down, but first hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. The cause of this latest internal eruption, Starmer's controversial £5 billion plan to slash Britain's ballooning welfare bill, a move designed to show fiscal responsibility in the early days of his premiership. But that very ambition has triggered a revolt from Labour's left and centre-left, who now accuse the Prime Minister of pushing through sweeping reforms without proper consultation, analysis or compassion. Almost 100 Labour MPs are believed to have signed onto an amendment that could derail, or at the very least delay, the rollout of Starmer's flagship welfare changes. The amendment is being led by Meg Hillier, the respected chair of the Treasury Select Committee, and notably backed by former Government Whip Vicky Foxcroft, who resigned from her frontbench post just days ago to join the rebellion. Hillier has made it clear this isn't about sabotaging Labour's policy platform, but rather about demanding accountability. In her own words, "We don't want to defeat the government, but we want the government to think again. We are being asked to vote before consultation with disabled people and before impact assessments." At the heart of the backlash is a growing sense that Labour is attempting to rush major welfare reforms through Parliament without hearing from the very people those reforms will affect: disabled individuals, carers, low-income families. Many MPs fear that the consequences will be not just political, but human. And they may have a point. Whitehall's own early impact assessments warn that up to 250,000 people could be pushed into poverty as a direct result of the proposals, including 50,000 children. Critics say this flies in the face of Labour's pledges to eradicate child poverty and support the vulnerable. The amendment reportedly calls for greater scrutiny from the Office for Budget Responsibility and notes that much of the new employment support funding won't even be implemented until the end of the decade, leaving many to ask why urgent cuts are being prioritised over long-term investment in people. Number 10, however, is holding the line. Senior government sources warn that softening the proposed cuts would risk blowing a massive hole in Chancellor Rachel Reeves's budget. Liz Kendall, the new Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, has told MPs privately there can be no route to social justice based on greater benefit spending alone. In a sign of just how serious this rebellion could become, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner was asked outright whether dissenting MPs could be stripped of the Labour whip. While she stopped short of confirming such action, her deflection raised eyebrows. "We've already introduced free school meals. We're already supporting families." But she didn't say no. It's a sensitive topic for Labour's leadership. Just last year, 7 MPs were expelled from the parliamentary party after voting in favour of an SNP motion to scrap the two-child benefit cap. 3 of those, John McDonnell, Apsana Begum and Zara Sultana, are still waiting to be readmitted. And now, with this amendment threatening to drag Labour's internal divisions back into the spotlight, Starmer faces a difficult choice: stand firm on fiscal discipline or risk alienating the very base that put him into power. If Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyle selects the amendment when the bill reaches the floor of the Commons, Starmer may be forced to confront this rebellion head-on. And with a fragile post-election mandate, the outcome could define his early premiership, for better or worse. The stage is set, the votes are being counted behind the scenes, and within days we'll know whether Starmer can hold his party together, or whether the first major rebellion of his government will leave lasting scars.
In other news, migrant hotels across Britain are being used as hubs for illegal delivery rider jobs, with asylum seekers taking up dark economy work just hours after arriving in the country. Illegal migrants based in the taxpayer-funded hotels can earn as much as £1,000 every week for delivery firms like Deliveroo, Just Eat, and Uber Eats. They can take up the jobs by subletting driver accounts on the food apps, having seen thousands of Facebook groups selling profiles on a daily basis. One group has 20,000 members, with dozens of posts every day advertising dark accounts which require no documents or proof. The migrants are barred from working under any circumstances during their first year in Britain. But government sources have said that the speed at which migrants are processed on quiet days means they can begin earning with delivery firms within hours of arriving in Dover. James Farrar, director of Worker Info Exchange, said, "We know an example where Just Eat has paid 50 workers in a single bank account. One so-called Deliveroo dealer charged £80 per week or £200 per month to rent an account in London. The dealer then insisted to an undercover reporter from The Sun that they won't be caught in any way, bro, and revealed he had rented to illegal migrants in the past. You don't need to verify any identity. You're just renting account, not creating account," he said. Elsewhere in the capital, asylum hotels have been exposed as hubs behind the illegal work. One in the City of London plays host to hundreds of £1,000 valued unregulated e-bikes, which are used to deliver food. It was forced to erect 6-foot-high black fences to hide the number of vehicles parked outside. Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick has warned that the jobs are another appalling abuse of our immigration system. "These delivery companies know exactly what they're doing," he said. "It's a disgrace, and they need to be made to feel consequences." Home Office Minister Angela Eagle is set to meet with the food delivery firms as soon as next week in a bid to combat the gaping illegal work loopholes in the sector. Those firms have vowed to close the loopholes already. Just Eat said, "We are continuously strengthening our approach to ensure anyone who delivers through Just Eat's platform has the right to work in the UK. Last year, we introduced a new mechanism requiring couriers to inform us that they are using substitutes, and for these substitutes to complete right-to-work checks. We have now rolled out the next phase. Couriers are randomly prompted to complete a facial recognition test, which must match documentation held on our system." Deliveroo added, "We have a dedicated team in place who ensure Deliveroo does not work with riders who don't have the right to work in the UK. We are consistently strengthening our controls against misuse of our platform, with further measures in development. All riders, including substitutes, must complete right-to-work checks, which we are robust in monitoring with daily identity verification, and most recently, additional checks when a rider logs in using a new device." Uber Eats also said, "All couriers who use the Uber Eats app must undergo checks to ensure they have a legal right to work in the UK. Uber Eats has launched new detection tools to crack down on anyone attempting to work illegally on our platform. As a result, we are removing fraudulent accounts, and we are constantly reviewing and improving our processes." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.